Hello and welcome to Late Night with Kettle Kitchen and BLOO.
Hello.
Are you ready to get started?
Oh, go on then.
Okay. Hey, I remembered the right song this time.
Well, you know, it helps if you remove the other one.
I did. That's the only reason why I probably got it right, because I got rid of the old one.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, let's run through and say hi to everybody. Dark Lord Mennett's in here. Nanny Tam is in here. Lori, Prepping for Heaven, thank you for coming in. Thank you to everybody for coming in. Josh, Skinner Farms. Rebecca, Suburban Hillbilly, thank you for coming in. And there we go. That went real fast.
Ta-da.
I hope everybody's doing good, but I don't want to waste any time because we have a good friend on with us tonight. So I want to bring her up. Are you ready? Okay. Welcome, Sandi, Suburban. Do what? Oh, I thought you said something. Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for inviting me.
Always. I have loved you forever, just so you know that.
You are so sweet.
I've learned a lot from you, though. You actually would be surprised. You have a lot of good knowledge.
Well, you know, I love gardening and all things like that. So it's just like a passion.
And it shows, actually. It really does. But we'll get into that maybe sometime further down the road. But that's not your only passion. You have a few passions.
I do. I love painting. I love doing my fused glass. Yeah, there's just so many things. My husband always says, "Can't you just do one thing?" I always say, "How long have you known me?"
I love it. I love it. Oh, I see that Heather, Milk and Honey Heritage Farms, has joined us. Thank you for coming in. We don't have a lot of interaction on these because of how late they are, but we get a lot of interaction afterwards. So that's usually where we see a lot of the numbers from. But we like it okay like that because it gives us a chance to talk if we want to.
Sure.
So. And actually, when I started my Friday Night Live, and I know BLOO can attest to this, and I know Sandi can attest to this, everybody would go watch Lisa at Yogi Hollow Farm. Then we'd go watch Sandi at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Up over and see me afterwards. And I loved that lineup. It was just nice and fun. And then Sandi disappeared. And then I was like, I don't have my lead on show. Now I got to just sit and wait.
Sorry.
It's fine.
You know, life is busy sometimes.
It is. It is. And you guys had a lot of things that happened. And, you know, I mean, it is what it is, you know.
And that's okay.
And it is okay. I want to thank you myself because you have been an inspiration to my channel. And I think you deserve to know that. And I think BLOO's in the same spot because she kind of nodded there a minute ago. Just a little. Yeah. I think set aside the skill sets that you have. Let's not talk about those right now. As a content creator, you are very cautious to make sure everybody feels like they're part of the conversation. And I think that's one thing I tried to glean off of watching you, because there's a lot of channels that don't do that. I mean, in all honesty, and it's not to be mean, it's just not their style. but you always did it when I was on your lives. You always made sure you always said hello to every single person. You made sure that they were part of the conversation, and I thank you for that. As a content creator and as a viewer, I appreciate that.
Well, that's one of the things that can be really hard on a live stream, especially when it's just popping through really fast. And I can't even tell you how many times people would tell me afterwards, just ignore the chat. And it was like, I can't ignore the chat.
Right.
They're taking their time. People are busy. And if they're willing to take a half hour or hour out of their life for you,
right,
you want to respond to them. So it's just kind of important, I think.
No, and I get that. I struggle with that because I try to acknowledge. I mean, it's just like Suburban Hillbilly is leaving and I want to say bye to her, but sometimes I feel, especially in this setting and in my game night setting, it's hard. The game night setting is even harder because I've got almost a 2-hour show. I'm trying to cram in as much as I can what we're doing, but this one I try to take more time and make sure I'm acknowledging who's coming in and whatnot, because I do agree with you. I mean, people are giving you an hour or hour and a half of their time, or half hour in some cases. So that's appreciated as well. And I like the people we have in our chat because they have a lot of information. A lot.
Yeah, I recognize all kinds of people in the chat.
Helena M just popped in. Thank you for coming. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay. So I kind of give you the rundown of how things go. I do want to let everybody know all of Sandi's information is in the description box below. So if you want to reach out to her, please do. I need to put this up though. I forgot this part. And I understand one of my nieces might be watching, Gabby, so I want to say hi to her.
Awesome. Hi, Gabby.
There. Thank you. There. Now everybody can see who's who.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they kind of know who we are, but Oh, Sandi, I always do this. What color would you like your badge to be tonight?
Oh, do you have a coral? Awesome.
Will that work?
That's close enough. Yes.
It's not exact, but it's where my cursor jumps, so we'll go with it. Okay.
Coral's always been my favorite color. So.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Oh, Annette, our urban homestead. Thank you for coming in. All right, so you're at 82.9 thousand subscribers, which I have watched that number grow. Really good. You have 1.3 thousand videos. I think the number I seen was 1,334. And as of right now, do you know how many views you have?
No.
3,985,271.
Awesome.
Almost 4 million views on your channel. Yeah, that is very cool.
Doesn't that just like blow your mind?
Yes.
It's just like, how is that possible?
Yep. So, announcement just for anybody that didn't know, Kettle Kitchen hit 1533 today, and I'm still stuck back at the 25. I'll be honest with you, because I said if I make 25, I got something. If I don't, then I don't, and it just keeps going.
Yeah.
So I love it. All right, so you are on Facebook, Instagram. I'm assuming you have a Shopify.
Well, I did for a while, but I canceled it. By the time you sell on Shopify or Etsy or any of those things, just my opinion.
Right.
On the things that I sell, by the time I paid them, and like a lot of them want it shipping included.
Right.
So you have to figure your price that way too, but you don't want to go too high. I thought other people were making more money than me after I took my cost of my stuff. So now I just sell it locally, or if somebody sends me an email and says, I'd like to buy that from you, I will ship it to you. Yeah.
But then that's your own discretion to do that.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people like Shopify and Etsy, and it wasn't like I didn't like it, but my price point had to just be so much higher than I really wanted to charge people.
Right.
Yeah.
So I figured I had to do it a different way.
So are you on Etsy too then still, or you used to be on that?
I still have that store. I just don't have anything active right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So why did you pick your channel name?
Well, because my husband and my philosophy is we want to be self-reliant, self-sustaining, self-sufficient, and doing that in a suburban setting, because we live in the suburbs. In Wyoming, like
Right.
in Arizona, we live in the middle of town. It's not a suburban, but I just thought, well, actually, my girls said I should do a YouTube channel and teach people the things I do. And I kept saying, who wants to listen to an old woman? I'm 65 years old. I'm an old woman. But I guess I do like to listen to an old woman.
I would say by your subscriber number, you're okay. So your next question is when did you start your channel? And before you answer that, one of the reasons I ask is because on your about page, it says June 8th, 2013, but we've been finding a lot of people started out as just watchers, viewers.
Yes, and I actually have been making videos. Last November, it was 4 years.
Okay.
So 4 years and a few months I've been making videos.
So 2018?
2019.
2019. Sorry, I can add, really, I can.
No, it's 2018. Because when it gets back to November, it will be 5 years, and it's 2018.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What, for those that don't know, what is your channel about?
It's about living self-sufficient within the city limits, the suburbs. So I'm an urban homesteader, actually.
Mhm.
We have bees, we've had chickens, we've had rabbits. Where I live, we can't have like horses or pigs or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there are things we can have. And so I can, and I preserve and I dehydrate and all the different things to take all my gardens. And I either do something to preserve it, or I give a lot of it away. Just because the idea of growing is just mind blowing to me. You put that seed in that ground and it is amazing what it can do for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I do love to eat that stuff, but it's still that if I had to choose between the two, you can either grow or you can eat those things. I would grow it.
You'd grow it. I'm the other person to back you up. I'd rather eat it.
And I like weeding,
Right.
I find it very therapeutic, and
Mm-hmm.
I forget everything that's happening around, and I like that. So that whole growing process, I love.
Good.
Awesome.
Can you tell us what milestones on YouTube have stood out the most for you?
Oh, well, when you first start in YouTube, when you get monetized, it is just like so exciting.
Yes.
And you're just watching your stats every single day. It's getting closer and closer and closer, and it's just like woohoo.
Right. Yeah.
And then I thought, if I could get to 10,000 people, I'd be just subscribers, I'd be so excited. And then 25,000, and then 50,000, and then 75,000. And now my next goal is 100,000.
Now, is it the 100,000 you get the silver?
Yeah, you get a plaque. Yeah.
Ooh. Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
The more you get subscribers, there are benefits that they don't tell you about.
Really?
You get you can be in what do they would call it, like they interview you and they ask you questions and they ask you how you would things you would like to change on YouTube, what things work for you, what things don't work for you. And that's really interesting, and sometimes you can see things that they may or may not do, and that's really
right. That's good. That's cool. I didn't know that, actually. I don't have many large channels like you coming to my interviews, so
if
I have some. But
if I was going to give a suggestion to somebody that was starting YouTube, is that they have YouTube Academy. It's a free thing you can take online. You will learn so many things.
Yeah, I agree.
Across the top on your studio, when it asks you to take a survey, take every single one that they ask you for, because then they will email you and ask you to do more.
Okay.
Didn't know that either.
So you need, everything that YouTube tries to help you with, do it.
Right. Good. Good to know. Okay, now the fun starts.
Okay.
And we're getting ready to start a 20 segment. BLOO, do you have your first question?
Yes.
Okay. It's your turn.
But right away.
I said at the beginning of the 20 segments, and this is the beginning of the first one.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll do this one or my other one first then.
Okay.
So your channel name is Wyoming, Arizona. And if we've watched your channel for any amount of time, we know that you spend 6 months in Wyoming during the summer. And then you move to Arizona for the winter. What kind of organization does that really take? I mean, because you grow so much.
It's like craziness, it can be very stressful for 2 weeks before I'm leaving. The things I can't keep, my plants that I can't keep, I am giving away to all kinds of people. Anything that I don't have time anymore to preserve, I'm giving away to people. You got to do all your utilities, all these different things, switching things so everybody knows where you are. But, my husband retired and he wanted to come down, and my parents have been coming down here for 25 years. We live right next to my parents.
Right.
My dad is 92 and my mom is 85. And I just thought, you never know how much time you have with your parents. And if we can come down and help them, it's a blessing,
Good.
So we live in this little tiny house, low mobile home down here. This is my craft room that you're seeing behind me, where I do sewing and art and everything that I do creative. But you have to decide what to take, what not to take. And the hardest thing is I'll be looking for something, and then I have to realize it has to be in the other house. It's not here.
That would be so confusing.
I have to admit, I really admire you for doing it, because I would have to have 2 of everything.
Yes.
There's just no way that I couldn't do it, because it'd be like, otherwise I'd be moving everything all the time.
Well, I think the longer that you come down here, that happens, But there are certain things that, and we have a dog, and so we have to do all this stuff to bring him down. And we had 2, but our Max passed away last year down here. But he was 14,
Right.
He was old for his breed of dog. And so you just have to do a lot of planning, have a lot of lists. And I'm just checking them off as I go to make sure, because you don't want to forget something. And
no, it's just mind-boggling to me. It's like, if I ever want to talk about like moving again.
Well, the hard thing is that it used to be, Wyoming has cold winters, so you didn't garden other than like my hydroponics inside, stuff like that. But you had that really downtime that I could sew and I could read a lot. But I come down here and you're just hitting the ground running because you got to get your garden in.
Right. Right.
And so it's interesting. But
Well,
and it's okay.
One of the questions I think that I've always been wanting to ask you, and you may actually have said it in a live, but I don't remember what your answer was. Do you technically run 2 separate garden schedules?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know you do in Arizona, and I knew you had a garden in Wyoming, but I couldn't remember seeing it. So I wasn't sure if it's full scale like Arizona is or not.
My gardens in Wyoming are probably 3 times, 4 times as big as what I have down here.
Okay.
Because I have all of my gardens at my house, and then I have 2 huge community garden plots. And so, I mean, I grow way more than any 2 people could ever eat in a season.
But that's what's great about you is that you guys then give back to the community or family
We're
or
always
whatever.
giving, I mean,
Right.
hundreds and hundreds of pounds we give away.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. I see Leanne, a Mennonite farmhouse came in. I got between farmsteads and farmhouses and farm wives. I'm about confused. Okay. And then Wendy, Miss Hardknack Farms, is in with us, who is also Wendy from Hardknack Farms, but she has 2 channels. So, all right, here we start on the favorite and least favorite. So you ready?
Okay.
What is your favorite color?
Coral.
And what is your least favorite color?
Green.
What is your favorite number?
7.
What is your least favorite number?
13.
What is your favorite season?
Summer.
And what is your least favorite season?
Well, I don't have winter anymore.
Right.
So, winter, but it was never a bad season. You know,
Right.
I don't have a season I hate.
Well, and some of these questions, which this is one of them, well, typically it's one of them because some people hate winter, so they'll tell you that. But it's about your least favorite. It doesn't have to be the worst. You don't like it, but
Okay.
if you had to pick one to be at the bottom, that would be the one. Okay. And some of these questions are also from past, and they could be from future, so keep that in mind as well. What is or was your favorite TV show?
Oh, my favorite TV show. I like old TV shows. Probably my favorite is the Jetsons.
The Jetsons. Oh, that's funny.
It's a cartoon, but it was,
Yep.
you know, it was every week.
That's funny. And then what is or was your least favorite TV show?
I don't like anything horror. So anything that would be like that, I never watch any. Yeah.
What is your favorite movie?
Well, probably my favorite. It was a series. It was movies, but they were a series out of Korea. It's called Mr. Sunshine.
Okay.
If you
I
haven't,
know these movies. They're awesome.
spectacular. So.
Okay. Then on the flip side, what is your least favorite movie?
Well, when I was young, I went to The Omen. I hated it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't like anything like that. So,
Wasn't that the one with Damien?
Yeah, and I think yeah, it was weird. I just don't like anything like that.
Yeah. So, BLOO, just out of curiosity, what is the ongoing theme of movies we don't like? Do you remember?
Movies we don't like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Horror movies are probably the number
Pretty much,
one
I would have
that
said
people don't
horror
like.
movies. Yeah.
Now, there was a day and a time where I loved them and had to watch them. I'm telling you, today's, I don't want to get anywhere near them. When I started hearing The Purge, I tried to watch that, and 15 minutes in, I was done. I couldn't do it.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
You don't want to know what that is. So, anyways,
You're good.
I did see that Ryan, Heavenly Hills Homestead, is in here, and tomorrow we're doing an auction on his channel. You need to go check it out.
I have been on his channel.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy. And then somebody else I thought popped in here too. Maybe not. I thought somebody else popped in here. All right. So then what is your favorite dinner? You have an empty plate in front of you. What would be the meal you would want on that plate?
Can I have Panda Express?
Sure.
I love Chinese.
Okay.
I just had that for supper.
All right. And then what would your least favorite meal be?
Liver and onions.
Oh, come on. It's funny you're answering the questions and everybody behind me is answering them too. I think we had a couple don't like the liver and onions.
A lot of mine and hers match. It's funny.
Yeah. You're matching with people, I guess. So that's a good thing. What is your favorite fruit?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
These next 4 questions, I figure, will be the toughest for you.
Well, I love apples. You know, I grow a lot of apples.
Mm-hmm.
I love grapes. I love figs. I don't know. That's tough, but I'm saying apples.
Apples. Hello, Big Valley Living. Thank you for coming in. What is your least favorite fruit?
Well, papaya from the grocery store is probably my least favorite, but I do love papayas from a tree. But I don't think they taste the same. I think they're in storage too long.
I agree. I have that issue with what's the other one? Mango.
Mangoes.
Mango, it, to me, kind of is the same way, but I get it.
Yeah.
Hello, Derek Fowler, Mr. Georgia. Thank you for coming in. Along the same lines of these being your hardest questions, what is your favorite vegetable?
Tomatoes. No, well, yeah, tomatoes.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, tomatoes.
And then what is your least favorite vegetable?
Oh, that's easy. Eggplant.
Oh, I can't. Ugh.
I love the plant, though. It's a different color green. I love the texture. I keep saying I'm never going to grow them again, and I keep growing them because I love the plant, and then I give them away.
They could be decorative, though, right? You know.
Oh, and I love to paint them. And
Really?
Oh, yeah. That purple is just fabulous in a watercolor.
Oh,
and
cool.
So I have to grow them so I can paint them.
Okay, I'll go with it. Here's one of the controversial questions. What is your favorite kitchen tool?
Ooh. Cast iron skillet. Is that a tool? It's a frying, it's a frying pan. Can it be a tool?
You can hit somebody upside the head with it. I would classify it as a tool.
Yeah. You can tenderize meat with it too if you haven't got the hammer.
Yes, you can.
Just go smack.
So Ryan from Heavenly Hills Homestead, when he was on this interview and answered that question, he said a fly swatter.
Oh. He must have flies in his kitchen.
I had to give it to him, What is your least favorite kitchen tool?
Well, I don't know if I have a least favorite. There are ones that I don't use very often, but kitchen tools are like men's tools in their garage. You can never have too many, and there's always a new gadget that is in your kitchen.
I'm going to record this and replay it to Tammy when he wakes up. That answer right there.
I love that.
Yep.
What is or was your favorite board game?
Monopoly.
That's funny.
But I do have a new game. It's called I brought it down with us. I'll have to look it up. Sorry. It's something
Okay.
with numbers, and it's like a Scrabble game, only you're using numbers and everything has to be divisible by 3. It's really complicated.
Like Sudoku?
Nope.
Okay.
It looks like Scrabble, you know.
Okay.
It has a little tray, only it's all numbers. So then when you lay them on the board, as it goes across, it has to be divisible by 3, or you can't lay it down.
Ooh.
So then when you go across and you hit another one, it goes this way, and everything has to be divisible by 3. So you really have to use your brain.
I'm curious too. Yes, I
But it's
am.
like numeric, it's in the
Numeric.
numeric.
Yes, I love that
So
game.
was I right with the cards?
No.
Oh.
Wow.
I played that before. I forgot about the divisible by 3 part.
Yeah. So I
All
like
right.
things that can be complicated.
Then on the flip side, what is your least favorite board game?
I
Sorry.
don't know. Shoots and ladders. That's a good game, but it's kind of silly and I don't know. I don't know if there's a least favorite. I'll play any games. I like games.
Okay.
So if we're at somebody's house, I'm up for whatever they want to play. Because all families have different games they like. And so
You would have a heck of a time getting me to play Candyland. I hate that game.
I forgot about Candyland. My husband is not a game player. And he
Oh, okay.
he doesn't like cards. And when we were married, we were probably married 3 years. And when he was off work, we would play gin rummy. We'd play different things. And one day he goes, I don't really like playing cards. I don't like games. I said, we've been playing for 3 years. You couldn't have told me this before?
That would have helped just a little.
It didn't make any difference. It was just something to do,
Right.
We could have done something else. So
Yes. Teresa Jukiewicz has joined us. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, I love Teresa.
I like Teresa. Yep. She's good. I've nicknamed her TJ. Okay. Now you've done that first set of 20. So now we go into a little different. What is your favorite hobby?
Well, I guess gardening could be described as a hobby. I love reading books. I usually have 4 or 5 that I'm reading at the same time. And then audible books at the same time, because you never know where you're going to be. You might be standing in the grocery line and you got some time. So you might as well read something or listen to it in your earbuds.
There you go. What is your least favorite chore?
Bathroom cleaning.
What is your favorite time of day?
10 o'clock at night. I could stay up really late every single night, but Joe's not a night owl. He's an early bird. And so I compromise.
Right. Yeah. What is your favorite day of the week?
I'm retired. That doesn't really apply to me anymore. So, when you're working, it's Saturday and Sunday usually. But, when you're basically quote unquote retired, sometimes you forget what day it is. So,
Okay. Who is your favorite male actor?
I don't know.
What?
Actually, no idea. I don't have a favorite actor.
Well, you got to pick one.
That way you have more.
Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who is your favorite actress?
I did like Sally Field. She used to be in a lot of movies.
She did. She was great. I loved her.
Why
when I was
does
a
it
kid
seem?
playing
Yes. Why does it seem odd that
Yeah, I
Leanne
can't. I just
stated
can't
Magic
even.
Mike? Interesting. Okay, here we kind of dig into you a little bit. Okay, what is your favorite saying?
Well, probably God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. I say that a lot.
Okay.
My kids think it's funny that I say groovy.
I get it. What is your favorite song?
Ooh. Actually, probably my all-time favorite song is called "I Gotta Tell Somebody." I think Don Francisco was the guy who sang it. It's probably from the 70s, early 70s. It's a religious song, but it's very upbeat and that you got to tell somebody. You'll have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's Don Francisco. That was his name.
Don Francisco, you are correct.
It's just a really good song.
I think I've heard this before.
Yeah.
Give me just a second.
It's a story. It's,
Okay, that's not what I thought it was.
I'm going to check it out later.
Now I'm going to look it up. I got it looked up, so I'm going to play it later. What is your favorite holiday?
Wow. Well, there's different ones for different reasons. I love Thanksgiving because one of my favorite things to eat is turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy and all the trimmings. And I do like all the holidays from, starting at Thanksgiving all the way through the New Year because people are nice and they're open and there's, not that, I don't really like all the present giving because that's kind of craziness and people are spending way too much money. But I do love the spirit of it that people are, they'll come home when they haven't seen their family for a long time. And I just love that whole idea of it.
Good. Okay. I actually found somebody I can ask this question that can answer it.
Maybe.
Excuse me. Sandi, what was the last book you read?
Well, the last book I just finished was You Are Not Alone. It's all about bugs and weird things in your house.
Oh, wow.
It's and I just listened to it on Audible. I don't want to give you the wrong. It's Never Home Alone. That's what it's called. It's by Robert Dunn. He's a scientist. If you like interesting things that will make you think, and a lot of facts, but he's a really good writer. And so it keeps you really engaged. And so I told one of my sons you should read this book. And he left me a message. That was a great book. Shocking. I know it's about bugs and mites and spiders and things that are in your house. And not just in the United States, all over the world. It's really interesting.
Cool.
So what was it called again?
Never Home Alone.
Never Home Alone.
And it's Rob Dunn.
Yeah.
And I read a lot of garden books and things about soils and restoration of farmlands and things like that. I never read anything that's like, I don't read a novel ever.
Okay.
That's just not my thing.
Right.
I would rather learn something while I was taking that time.
That's why I like biographies and autobiographies because I'm learning about people or stuff like that. So, all right, we're moving into second section of 20 questions. BLOO, what is your next question?
Okay. Sandi, you arrive at the pearly gates. What is the one thing that you hope to hear God say to you?
well done, my good and faithful servant.
Nice.
That I'm a believer, so that's just something
Yeah,
that
no, I get
I
it.
want to hear.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, that's a good answer. Yes. Okay. What was your favorite subject in high school or in school? Just
Math.
school. What is your least favorite subject in school?
Mm, not really a least favorite, but I'll say history. Though I
Okay.
do like history, so I don't know.
Xander said to the what do you want to hear God say when you arrive at pearly gates? Where did it go? I'll get, oh God, he's back.
Xander.
That's funny. That's funny. All right. What is your favorite pizza topping?
Chicken.
Ooh.
We don't get that answer that
Well, I haven't
often.
had that one for a while.
No.
No.
Well,
Nice.
I don't eat pork, and most things on pizzas are pork things.
Yes.
Okay.
And so
Fair enough.
I like chicken, and I don't like tomato sauce on my pizzas. I want some kind of Alfredo or garlic sauce or something like that.
So, Sandy, if you like chicken,
Mhm.
use your chicken, use green peppers and onions, use a very sharp cheddar cheese, but you want to know what the sauce underneath is?
What?
Barbecue.
I'm
Try it.
not really a barbecue fan, but I will try it.
Try it.
Yeah,
And
I'll try
if
it.
you have the pizza dome in your backyard, why not? You know?
Yeah, because we're making all kinds of pizzas all the time, so I will try that. Yeah.
Okay. Or the garlic chicken Alfredo.
Yeah,
It's got
I like that.
mushrooms and onions.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, I just ate and I'm making myself hungry. I better stop.
Yeah, stop that. I'm getting flashbacks to a pizza I used to eat in the 90s when I used to live in Canberra.
What was it?
Okay, so it was this place called Speedy's Pizza in Canberra. I'm not sponsored or anything because they probably don't exist anymore. But it was
Okay.
the only place I ever found a chicken nugget pizza. And I was like, we got it by accident. They sent it to us by accident. I'd never order anything like that. But it became our new favorite pizza. And it was like barbecue sauce and pieces of chopped up chicken nuggets. But the chicken nuggets weren't battered ones, they were crumbed. So they were really crispy. And then you had
Ooh.
like, they didn't overdo the cheese or anything. So it was like,
Mhm.
it was really yummy.
Ooh. Another one that I don't care for it as much because I'm not a huge ranch person. I like ranch, but I'm not a huge one. Is chicken bacon ranch.
Ah.
That's good. Okay, moving along. What is your least favorite pizza topping?
Anything pork.
Okay. Yeah. So just like the dinner plate, blank plate, what would be the favorite breakfast on that plate for you?
Oh, probably eggs that are basted, hash browns, wheat toast or pancakes. I don't usually have meat with my breakfast because that's usually pork too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. One
You're
of the
the
few
first
people.
person that I've heard that bastes their eggs.
I love basted eggs. That's how I always order them.
That's how I do them here.
Uh-huh.
But you can't ask for them out because people won't do it.
What
Oh.
are basted eggs? Because we've never heard of
Basted
them.
eggs are basically you fry them off in something like butter or something, but it's almost like poaching them. And then you grab the excess butter and you get a spoon and you pour
baste it.
You're basting the egg. So it actually cooks with that over the top. And it's just beautiful.
Huh?
You
That
don't
sounds good.
you don't break the egg ever because you're not flipping it.
Right.
No.
So.
Cool.
Yeah.
What is your least favorite breakfast?
I'm not really a waffles fan.
Come on now.
I like pancakes, but I don't. It's not like I never eat waffles. You know, if I'm at somebody's house, I'll eat the waffle, but it's just not one of my favorite things to have.
Okay. Who is or was your favorite cartoon character?
Besides the Jetsons, Probably Roadrunner and the Coyote.
That's it. I just found my new mummy.
Is or was your least favorite cartoon character?
SpongeBob. I watched that with my grandkids, and it's just like, oh my gosh, that is horrid.
Yeah,
You know, it's way too adult for little kids.
it is.
I love that answer. Yes. It's very naughty.
Yeah, it is naughty.
What is your favorite drink?
A good cup of English tea. I love English tea.
They swapped my mummy at birth.
Yeah, see, I knew that was going to happen.
A good cup of tea. Now, definition of a good cup of tea.
But Sandy knows what a good cup of tea is. She's not one of these idiots that gets tea bag and sticks it in the microwave.
Now, where would you
No,
start?
see?
Or shoot it?
Yeah, but that's, Sandy knows what she's doing. I have
What
faith in
is-
Sandy.
What is your least favorite drink?
I don't really drink alcohol. I love to make wine. I love to make mead, but I don't really drink it. I just give it to my neighbors and my kids.
Okay. What is your favorite moment in time?
Oh, favorite moment in time. Well, if I could have lived in the 17th, 18th century in England, I would be in heaven. I love all things English.
Oh, so you like BLOO.
I love her.
What is your least favorite moment in time?
I would say the 1940s Germany. I find that, Joe is a real history buff.
Mhm.
Sometimes I can't even watch the movies. I just find them so horrific that
Okay. Fair
the
enough.
hatred of people. I would have not liked to live right then.
Okay. What sound do you enjoy the most?
Water.
What sound annoys you the most?
Anything that's like screeching, fingernails, any kind of screeching, I don't like it.
Okay. What is your favorite restaurant aside from Panda Express?
Oh. I like pho. It's so any restaurant that serves pho I like, Thailand, Vietnamese restaurant, anything like that, I like those.
Okay. And what would your least favorite restaurant be?
A barbecue place because they serve pork.
Good point.
I just haven't eaten pork in almost 25 years, and it's just not something I do. So
I get it. What is your favorite age so far?
right now,
What was your least favorite age?
probably junior high. It was hard. Girls can be mean.
Did you hear that? Girls can be mean. I
So
just
can
wanted.
boys.
Yeah. Well, that's not what she said. What is your favorite smell?
Ooh. Well, I love the smell of citrus. Yeah, probably citrus. I love that when you're cutting a lemon or an orange right
Mhm.
off the tree and that scent. I love that.
Okay. And the most controversial question we have for you. What is your least favorite smell?
I don't like the smell of skunks. We don't really have them here, but in Wyoming, sometimes you're up really early in the morning and the skunks will be by the field, by the school.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't like that. And one of our dogs got sprayed once. It was horrible.
Oh yeah, you have scorpions too.
I have never seen one. I'm sure that they have
What?
them, but
Yeah.
never.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
think
people say that about Australia. Is like you got spiders and snakes. Well, yeah, I'd probably say 3 maybe.
All right. So you made it through the second 20 question phase. Now we move into the goofy questions.
okay.
If you could be a dessert, what dessert would you be and why?
Ooh. I think I'd probably be homemade vanilla ice cream because I love the whole process of making my own ice cream and that you churn it and you crank it. And I just love that whole process.
Okay. If you could be a hot beverage, what drink would you be?
Hot chocolate.
If you could be any cut of meat, what would you be?
A ribeye. That's my favorite.
Ribeye.
That's my favorite steak. So
I never got asked this question when it was my turn, but I always thought to myself, I'd always say rump roast. If you could be any piece of seafood or kind of seafood, I've been meaning to change that and I keep forgetting to. If you could be any kind of seafood, what would you be?
How about a rainbow trout?
Ooh.
That's not really a seafood. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
water,
like-
but
yeah.
they're not in the sea.
Yeah, well, we'll go with it though, because it's fish, so you're fine. Here's where the stumpy comes along. If you could be any piece of farm equipment, what would you be?
I'd be a tractor.
Whoa.
You can do a lot of
If you-
work if you're a tractor.
True.
Yeah.
Very, very true. If you could be any kind of baked good, what would you be?
Baked goods. German chocolate cake.
Is that Teddy I hear in the background?
It is.
She should have
He's
tracked her.
snuck in.
She should have tracked her. No.
He snuck in.
Tractors, no. No. They're afraid of all lights.
He's a delivery guy, and he gets stuck behind a lot of them, trying to get to
Yeah.
where he's got to go.
Yes. If you could live in any state other than you do, not including Arizona or Wyoming, I'm not giving you the easy out here, okay? Where would you live, and why would you want to be there?
And it has to be in the United States. I think I would live in Hawaii. I had two of our kids lived in Hawaii for a long time, so we went over and visited, and I really liked Maui.
Okay, fair enough. What is one type of food you have not tried that you would love to try?
Ooh. Well, I haven't ever tried octopus, but I know that they serve it in fancy restaurants. I don't know if it's any good or not, but it'd probably be interesting.
Okay. What is your favorite pie?
That's tough. Probably homemade banana cream. Do you want to know my secret of making a good banana cream pie?
Sure.
Okay, so you can have graham cracker crust, you can have regular crust. It doesn't really matter. That I don't think makes the difference. But this is a trick my dad taught me when I was little. You lay your bananas all out there, and then instead of using banana pudding, you use vanilla pudding, either from a box or homemade. And you let the bananas sit for a day, and it takes that flavor and goes all through the pudding.
Oh, there you go.
So
Never thought of that.
because sometimes banana pudding, like you bought it in a box, has a kind of a weird little off taste a little bit, but just let your bananas flavor it.
Okay. Sounds good. Dark Lord Menet says, do not get the octopus ice cream from Japan.
That might be weird.
I'm sticking to my licorice ice cream.
I love licorice. So
Have you had licorice ice cream?
no,
Oh, you got to try it. BLOO. I don't think I'm ever going to get BLOO to try it.
I'll try it.
I
I
love
didn't even know they
licorice.
made-
I love ice cream, but the whole thought of them having them together is just like
Sounds so
no,
wrong.
no.
It sounds so
Yes,
wrong.
Leanne, we are warming up for the Pies of March, and the schedule will go out tomorrow. And that will
I
go
haven't
from
told
March
Danny what
1st
I'm doing for that yet.
31st. He'll like it.
Oh, he will.
Okay, Sandy, what type of donut do you like the most, or did like the most, or whatever? Because I don't know if you eat donuts.
Well, once in a while, there's this little donut shop here in Yuma, Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
and a Jewish family owns it, and they make this. It's like a glazed donut, only they stretch it and make it look like a pretzel, and then it's got the glaze over top of it. It is so amazing. That's my favorite.
Cool. All right, you made it
Is
through
it
the goofy
breakfast time
question.
yet? No.
All right, so these next set of questions are yes, SDP. I said licorice ice cream. Sorry.
Miss Linda.
What is your definition of a homesteader?
I think I think my definition of a homesteader is someone that tries to be as much self-sufficiency as they can. Now, in the world that we live in, if you're going to be a homesteader, rarely are you going to grow your own grains.
Mm-hmm.
And not all homesteaders have animals. And I think that sometimes people think they can't be qualified as a homesteader if they don't have animals. But sometimes there's regulations or
Right.
time or whatever it is. There's reasons why they don't. But if you're continuously looking at your whole life, how can I be self-sustaining? How can I recycle, repurpose, have my carbon footprint not as large? You know, do I
Right.
eat my food in season versus just running to the grocery store and buying whatever?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think, just little things over, that just add up. And eventually, I think you can look at yourself and say, I am a homesteader. I am trying to, I don't expect people to sew their own clothes. And,
Right.
some people love to do that. But that doesn't make you a homesteader just because you do that.
No.
Right.
I think it's just layers of always looking at things differently than a consumer.
And I think you've hit on probably a portion, if not a lot, of what many people do say. But I think what's key to it is the mindset you have about it.
Right.
If you have the mindset that you're a homesteader and the only thing you can do is garden 4 buckets, that's still homesteading, because you're trying to be self-sufficient. You're trying to make that
Right.
so that you're not relying on the grocery stores or whatever else.
Right.
I think that's really key to it.
Yeah.
So,
And maybe the first year you just have some buckets.
right.
And then the next year you have your buckets and you're doing stuff inside in the wintertime.
Right.
Because nobody becomes an instant homesteader.
They don't.
It's just like crazy. You can't. You can move to 40 acres. That does not make you a homesteader.
And there are people out there that do that, unfortunately. Oh, I'm going to go buy 40 acres and become a homesteader. And they get there and like, okay, now what do I do?
Well, yeah, because if you do it layer on layer, you'll sustain it. If
Right.
you try to do everything and you don't have the knowledge and resources, you're trying to fail from the
Right.
beginning, and you don't want that.
Right.
So you're better off. Okay, I can do this year. What worked? What didn't work? What can I add?
Right.
And then you become, it used to be that basically, other than a few people in the city, everybody was a homesteader. They preserved.
You are correct.
They
Yes.
did all kinds of stuff. They recycled. They didn't expect, things from the grocery store or a handout. they worked. A homesteader is a worker. You can't, even if you're retired, you're working every day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so that's just me. Other people might think other things.
But I also think, the other thing that goes into that, and it's not to say that you're not thinking this way, because I know you are, because we had this conversation. I think in addition to trying to be self-sufficient is educating yourself, learning,
Yeah,
or being a mentor to people to teach a skill set that they may not know, you may not know, or somebody needs, however you want to word it.
well, you need to have a circle of friends, as my one friend says, a tribe, because maybe this person has that skill set, so they can do that, and you have this skill set over here, and maybe you trade, you barter, your friends, you buy, you purchase, whatever, but you can't do everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I should say you can't do everything well. So why not have that circle of friends that, okay, can you teach me this? Or can I barter for you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And you get this community, and you're all homesteaders, but you all have different skills.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think is your biggest challenge with homesteading?
Well, my hardest thing is living in two places, actually, because I had to rethink everything, because it used to be I would try to get so much vegetables and fruit, and I would preserve them, so that we would do this through the winter. Now, I still do preserve different things. And I'll bring some down, some will store in the pantry, because at the beginning of each season, you don't have that fresh fruit or vegetables. But I had to learn that, okay, I don't have to have this much of this, because in a few months, I'm going to be in Arizona and I will be growing that again.
Right.
But I don't buy potatoes anymore, because this is my 4th season of the same potatoes that I have just dug up some and let them sit out. I chitted them and then planted them back again. So I haven't had to buy potatoes. Now, if they would get diseased, I would have to buy some potatoes. But
theoretically, you're on that mission where you won't have to.
Right. So my 4 seasons is only 2 years, because I have 2 gardens, through the year.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good information, actually. What is the most rewarding about homesteading for you?
I think it's that, that feeling that I can do that. I didn't have to ask somebody to do that. I love the library, and I love YouTube videos that I need to do something. I want to learn how to do it. So I'm checking every book out of the library. I'm talking to people that know how to do something. And I find that very satisfying, that all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can do that. I've learned something new, because it doesn't really matter how old you are. The day that you decide you don't have to learn anything else, you don't got many days left on this earth.
I agree. Hello,
Every
Rena
day's a
LaRue.
learning day.
What fruit or vegetable would you love to grow that you've not done so far?
Well, I don't have any papayas or mangoes down here, because they're easy to get, because there's lots of people that grow them. But I do. I tried to grow an avocado twice, but the summers are just too hot. There's not enough humidity in the air, and so I love avocados, and so I might have to just try some other varieties until I'm successful with those.
Okay. What animal would you like to raise the most if you were given the chance? Money wasn't a limit, or space, or anything. What would you like to raise?
Well, I have raised chickens lots of times, but I'd like to raise sheep, actually.
Okay.
I'd like to have some that I could really shear and then card the wool and make things out of them. I'd like to weave it and spin it and all that kind of stuff.
The whole process.
Yeah.
Okay. What is one thing you want to accomplish on your homestead that you've not done so far and we haven't already discussed?
Well, I would like to add quail to it. I just have to find somebody that would take the quail in the, when we go.
Right.
Like, we used to have chickens all the time. Now my girlfriend, when we get back each time, she brings over 5 chickens because that's what I can have in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Because within the city limits, that's what they let us have. And then she picks them up at the end of the season, which is nice. But quail are, they take up such a small space, and I love little quail eggs. And so, and I think that would be something I could probably give to her, and her kids would have fun raising those.
Oh, that's cool. What is one thing you've done in homesteading that you regret doing?
Well, sometimes you try to do too much too fast. So, I think when you're, when I try to do too many things in the yard, sometimes it's like, okay, you got to step back, because do things, you also have to weed those things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to sometimes look at what I'm doing and say, okay, I'm kind of out of balance.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just have to step back. It's not that you wouldn't do that later on, because there are always seasons in our lives, and something you can't do right now, you might be able to do in 10 years,
And that makes sense. What do you love about the community, the YouTube community, in which you feel you're a part of?
Oh my gosh. I have met so many amazing people. It is just like they've enriched my life, and hopefully I've enriched their lives. But it's just like this give and take thing that is just that, most people on YouTube are so kind, and they're giving, and I just love it. Sometimes I think I'm busy and I should just quit YouTube because I just have so many things to do. And then it's like, yeah, I don't do videos for a week or two. I'll tell people I'm not going to do them very often.
Right.
It's like, oh my gosh, I miss it.
Yeah.
I miss
Find
all
yourself.
this.
Yeah.
I
get it.
I have a good circle of friends in both places, but it's still, it's like, the people that you become friends with on YouTube, they have kind of the same mindset as you, for the most part. I mean, there's
For the
some
most part, right.
YouTube friends that I have that, they think totally different, but for some reason there's just a connection.
Yep.
But I love that, if you needed them, even though they're different parts of the world, they'd be there for you.
Yep.
Just like I would be there for them.
Yep.
And
Leanne says we love you too, Sandy.
oh, Leanne, you are so
And
sweet.
Ryan says you're awesome.
He grows a mean pumpkin.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does. They're insane.
Just slightly over 1,000 pounds,
I know it.
to be exact.
It's craziness.
Is there anything about your channel you would like to add that we've not discussed so far?
Well, I think your YouTube channel should evolve in some ways. You don't want to lose your main focus,
Right.
But I think that, sometimes you just got to mix it up a little bit.
Nope, I get it.
And if it just surprises people for a little bit. But, I always think that there's so many things to do and so many things to try and so little time that YouTube is a great avenue to explore those things.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. I'm trying to do something here real quick. Give me just a second. Okay, Ryan, you are a moderator. Go ahead and put the link up for his auction he's having tomorrow. I'll be on there helping him with it. But it is to fund. He's trying to raise money to fund moving into a 501c3 so that he can start raising money for the Seeds for Veterans program.
Oh,
that he
I did hear about that. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
and some of his giant pumpkin seeds, or he has giant pumpkin seeds, will be in the auction.
Oh, fun.
Just
Yeah.
throwing it out there.
I have some of his giant pumpkin seeds.
Do you?
I do.
Wow.
Ooh.
I would love to grow one of his giant pumpkins, but it would take up my entire front yard. Like the pumpkin itself would take up the entire front yard.
Well,
Wow.
you know, he's got so much good information on growing his
Yeah.
large vegetables. You know, so if
Mhm.
somebody wants to try, even just, you know, because he has things besides pumpkins, you know,
Oh, absolutely.
giant zucchinis
Absolutely.
and morrows, and you know, there's a lot of things to do.
Oh, I know. I've just always wanted to grow a massive pumpkin for the hell of it, you know? Because
So the link's on the
why
screen. It's
not?
also,
You know what I
it's
mean?
also, it's also in chat. Everybody's interested. There you go. Some cool things. So I think if you can be there. All right, Leanne. Thank you. Okay, so we're back to our normal way of doing things. Sandy, you made it through. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think everybody enjoyed that. But as always, we go back to one of our previous interviews and we'll see what our giveaway is for tonight. Okay, guys? So here it is. 2 St. Patrick gnomes. But you got to answer this question. You have 1 minute to answer it in, and I hope you have the right answer. And you have to remember, we're going from the last interview we did, which was back to Tom Garvey. And here's your question. Oh, Ryan says the list of the auction items are up on his community page. If you guys are interested, you can go look. Okay.
Seen it.
During
I'm
the
not allowed to look again.
Huh?
I said I've seen it. I'm not allowed to look again.
During the questions for Tom, BLOO said that she had never had a smell with jackfruit. I told her the reason why. What did I tell her? And your time starts now.
That might be hard for him.
It might be, but I don't make it easy either. Dark Lord Minute, you are incorrect. That is not the reason I told her.
I think people very much get jackfruit and durian mixed up.
And I think that's what actually, in all honesty, of the conversation when I went back and looked at it.
Yeah. It's two very, very different things. And
there's Rena LaRue's answer. But I did not say that.
Doesn't have a smell. Like jackfruit doesn't have a smell.
I think it's durian is what I was referring to when we had the conversation.
Right. Okay.
Yes. Dark Lord Minute says they both stink to him. Okay, your time's up.
Teresa says that she's going to have to get the replay.
She's gonna have to. All right, so the answer was, I told her it's because we're talking about jackfruit and she was talking about Jill fruit. That's what I told her.
You guys have got to start paying attention, hey?
Ryan, thanks for the answer. Unfortunately, you're late, my friend. All right. So next week, we already have our guest scheduled. That will be Josh from Skinner Farms joining us.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So I encourage everybody to come back and join us for that. I want to thank everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Sandy, you especially, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for asking me. It was so much fun.
And you made it through without too much.
No, but you made me think, you know.
Everybody says that. It makes you think when you have these questions. So Well, that's just the way it rolled, Nanny Tam. I'm sorry.
People were searching for a crate to ship out BLOO to Sandi.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody that showed up. We always appreciate it. I thank you, everybody that moderated. We appreciate that. BLOO, thank you for being here again.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you guys all next week. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.